What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Today, I want to discuss this Saturday's UFC 301's main event between Alexandre Pantoja and Steve Erceg for the UFC flyweight title. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly and to help the channel grow. All right, guys, getting right into it. We got Alexandre Pantoja taking on Steve Erceg in the main event, UFC 301. I love this title fight. You got Pantoja taking a big risk, giving some fresh blood an opportunity in Steve Erceg for flyweight gold, right? Now, granted, the writing was on the wall for Muhammad Mokaev to get that title shot if he were to get the victory over Alex Perez or if Alex Perez were to get a good victory over Mokaev himself. But Mokaev went out there and got the victory in probably the only way that he could have and probably the most boring way that he could have and fucked up his chances for a title shot. It's pretty crazy when you're like the clear cut number one contender, but you have such a poor performance even in victory that like everyone, including your own bosses, are like, no, you don't get the title shot next. We're going to give it to the next guy up. But to say Steve Erceg does not deserve a title shot is kind of weird too, because like what he's done within the UFC, 3-0 in the UFC, beating David Dvorak, I think it was Alessandro Costa, and most recently where he knocked out Matt Schnell. Now Matt Schnell, he's no title contender. Steve Erceg definitely, you would not consider to say battle tested within the UFC, but has looked good enough and dominant enough in a division that's kind of lukewarm and just doesn't really have a lot going on to where you really can't say that he's not a contender. You got Nicolau, who just got knocked the fuck out. Perez, who before knocking out Nicolau this past Saturday, 2-fight losing skid. You have Brandon Royval, who just lost his title shot. Brandon Moreno, who just said he's not coming back for a while. Amir Albazi, everybody knows that fight against Kai Kara France, he really didn't win. I think Kai's taking some time off. You got Manel Cape, who just can't take anything seriously. Tim Elliott, who just has had so much inconsistencies within his career, you just can't say he is at title shot right now. He's kind of just like in a weird gatekeeper position, even though he's not. He's still top. It's just weird. You got Tagir, but I think they want to give him another fight. So it just makes sense. And I like Steve in this fight. I'm really just, over 25 minutes, if he can just keep the fight standing, and like that's where the question mark is going to come in. Because on the feet, he moves forward. He's very fluid, explosive, packs a punch, throws a variety, and that's kind of what I meant by fluid. He really just can kind of just march forward and just paint a really beautiful picture of violence, right? And he's done it really well. And I think against Pantoja, that can work. It's just it depends on how he reacts when Pantoja decides to change levels on him. Is he going to be able to keep the fight standing, or if he does get taken down, will he be able to have the sense of urgency to get the fight up and not let time slip away? And that is really the true, I think, like, that's where we're going to see what Steve Erceg is made out of. I think with him being 3-0 in the UFC, we're really getting to see the truest test that we can out of him against Pantoja. I mean, Pantoja has beat damn near everybody in the flyweights. His last losses were to Askar Askarov and Davison Figueiredo like a while back. So it's a great fight. Pantoja, I think he definitely has a bigger arsenal. He's got the crowd behind his side. I think that definitely plays a big factor in this. But to sit there and say Steve Erceg doesn't have a chance or that he's not going to shock some people, like, I think Steve Erceg and Diego Lopez are like the two like breakout stars of the year. Like, especially guys who just weren't known and they just kind of burst into the UFC without really talking any shit, just with solid performances. So Steve definitely has a chance in this fight. I got Pantoja. I just think that his grappling is going to just be the difference maker. But we've definitely seen those holes in his striking where Steve can definitely catch him, and Steve has the power to put anybody out. So Steve, I think in the first 2 to 3 rounds has a really, really good chance at putting Pantoja out. But as this goes on, and if Pantoja can really change the levels well, I can definitely see him taking over this fight later on towards the end of the third round, fourth, fifth round. I can see that definitely happening. Maybe not see a finish, but maybe, you know, a 48-47, 49-46 Pantoja. I can definitely kind of see that happening. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this matchup, what you guys think of this title fight. Do you guys think Steve Erceg is ready in his title shot against Alexandre Pantoja? Love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Guys, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting more MMA content by yours truly. Help the channel grow. That's going to do it for today, guys. Mr. Mustache, MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.